Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Deep Cats Reactions and my name's Greg, and I didn't do any videos yesterday. It was just too weird. I hibernated. It's just uh, the drums of war. It just freaked me out. But anyway, so today was Flag Day in the US and also Donald Trump's birthday, where he's having a military parade in Washington, D.C., kind of along the lines of what the Soviets used to do or what they do in North Korea. It's all very appropriate. And so it was also a day for protest around the country called No King's Day. So we had a little one here in Norman. It was much bigger in Oklahoma City, several thousand people. But here in Norman, it was small, just a few hundred people to start with, and then the rain chased a lot of people off. But still, there were people out there, and we were, out on Main Street yelling and stuff. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It was funny. I was talking with this one guy, and asking him about this tattoo on his hand. It looked like a chemical formula, and he said, "Yeah, it's for dopamine." And like, yeah, well, I come from that '60s generation where we didn't get tattoos because you didn't want any identifying marks, in case Richard Nixon came after you, which was a real possibility. So it kind of goes with it today too. But yeah, so it was pretty funny. He was asking me and my wife, so when was the first protest that you guys went to together? And we were thinking, oh, well, that was Dan Quayle. We saw him at the New Mexico State Fair, and had our kids with us, and it wasn't really a protest. We were mostly just there to heckle him, which was really entertaining. But we had our kids with us, and they got to see it firsthand and stuff, and so that was fun. I guess the first one I had gone to was in Albuquerque back in like '72 or something like that. And it was a little intense. There was a lot of people. It was, anti-war, anti-Vietnam. And there was a lot of people there. And amongst all the people that were just there, protesting, there was a bunch of Chicanos that, all they wanted to do was fight the police. I mean, that was their whole motivation. It had nothing to do with the war. And but it was scary. They had bandoliers on and guns and all this. And the protest that we went to, because we were pretty oblivious at the time. We'd just gotten to Albuquerque, and we were dirt ass poor and trying to survive, So we were a little preoccupied until we saw that they had shut down Interstate 25. So anyway, there was a bunch of people shot during this week of protest. I mean, it was pretty violent. And so when they called for a protest gathering that was to help mellow things out, calm down, it's like no violence, no violence. So anyway, there was a bunch of people there, and we had the National Guard helicopter flying above us, with orders to disperse, or they were going to drop tear gas on us, and it was a lot of fun. So one of my friends went over to the president of the university's house and told him, we'll be glad to disperse like they're telling us to do, but if we do, we're coming here to your house, and let them drop tear gas on us." So it was fun. But yeah, so anyway, I hadn't done it in a long time. It's something important. And you just got to show your own political beliefs. And there were thousands of demonstrations throughout the U.S. I mean, I don't know, there was like 6 or 7 here just in Oklahoma, in small towns. I mean, besides Oklahoma City and Tulsa, they were also occurring in small towns. And maybe there weren't very many people there, but that's not the point. It's just stand out there and show what you're about. Show that you don't want a freaking king in our country. That's what the revolution was all about, is no kings. So we don't need one now. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to play some rock and roll, and I wanted to play this song, and I've played it a couple of times by both the Animals and the Angels, but I haven't played this version, so that's cool. This is the Angels live at the Southern Cross concert in what, like '88, I think it was, or something. And it's We Gotta Get Out of This Place live. So let's watch the Angels.
Part of the city where the sun refused to shine. People tell me there ain't no use in trying. Little girl, you're so young and pretty, but one thing I know is true: before your time is due. See my daddy better dying. His hair is turning gray. They're working and slaving his life away. I know it. He's been working so hard every night and day. I've been working too. Yeah. We gotta get out of this place. It's the last thing we ever do. We gotta get out of this place. Girl, there's a better life for me and you. Girl, you're so young and so pretty, but one thing I know is true: you'll be dead before your time is due. See my daddy man dying. Watch his hair is turning gray. He's been working and slaving his life away. Working so hard to we gotta get out of this place. It's the last thing we ever do. We gotta get
sorry there. Now that's a rock and roll band. God, yeah, that was just what I was in the mood for. It was so funny. I was talking with one of my friends. She's a lot younger than I am, but I hadn't talked to her for a long time, and I just mentioned, yeah, I ought to send you some music, and she's like, yeah, that would be great. So I, sent a couple of videos to her. One of them was the Angels, and she was like, holy shit, yeah, that works. That works. More of that would be great. So, like I say, I, you know, try to proselytize for Australian rock and roll. None of my American friends have ever heard before, so it's a lot of fun. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I will be back in a minute. So hit like, subscribe, and all that, and we'll see you all then. Bye bye.